Hello everyone, welcome to my The Way Home official channel. I hope everyone is having a great day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In the most recent episode of The Way Home, Kat's journey into the past yields a significant revelation, but her insistence on continuing to travel across time puts Elliot at odds with her. Time travel is a difficult concept. Kat, Alice, and Elliot believed they had deciphered the pond's rules in the first season of The Way Home, which included the notions that you could not alter the past and that it will always lead you in the right direction. However, as we're starting to learn in Season 2 of the Hallmark Channel series, the pond still has a lot of mysteries. In Hanging by a Moment, the second episode, Kat and Alice embark on separate adventures as Del and Elliot deal with personal struggles at the same time. In The Way Home Season 2 Episode 2, Kat travels to 1814. Season 2 of The Way Home concluded with a startling twist. In an attempt to find out more about the fate of Kat's missing brother Jacob, Alice and her mother Kat dove into the pond together, believing that doing so would transport them both back to the 1800s. However, the pond tore them apart. Whereas Kat traveled all the way back to 1814, when she was shot by a man as she emerged from the pond, Alice landed up in the year 2000. Kat's wound was fortunately not fatal. However, she is in poor condition and is being cared for in the general store basement by Watson Rose, a woman. She's incarcerated as well. The woman is told to keep Kat locked up by the man who shot her. Kat, nevertheless, runs away from it. She encounters a harsh man who introduces himself as Cyrus Goodwin as she runs away. He's about to put Kat in jail for embarrassing herself, but luckily, her nurse arrives on a horse and carries her off. Who will save Kat? Suna Augustine is her name. Since Augustine is Elliot's last name, this must be one of his ancestors, right? Although Susanna can be a bit harsh at times, she does provide some important details after taking Kat to the pond. Thomas is the man who shot Kat, and he believed he was shooting a deer. That seems a little off. Does he possess knowledge about the pond that would prompt him to loiter there brandishing a gun and shooting everybody who came out? More significantly, Susanna discloses that the Landry property is home to a youngster by the name of Jacob. Has Kat located her lost brother at last? That certainly appears to be the case. We're not positive, though, because she is so anxious to find Alice that she neglects to hunt for Jacob straight away. Alice attempts to reconcile with Elliot. Alice is looking for her mother with great urgency as Kat gets to know some of the early residents of Port Haven. Though Kat had previously informed her that she didn't make any more trips to the past after Colton's burial, the pond continues to transport her back to 2000 rather than building a relationship with her. Alice encounters a troubled young man named Elliot in 2000. He is still in sorrow for Colton, who he saw as a father figure. At some point, Elliot's true dad left for Mexico. Also, Kat, a teenager, moved out of Port Haven to be with Brady. Simply put, he's sad, and at first he vents his frustrations on Alice, whom he holds responsible for his demise. Afterwards, though, their shared grief brings them closer. In the present, Alice asks adult Elliot for assistance as well. However, he lacks true sympathy. He tells Alice he isn't interested in playing the Giles to her Buffy, since he is angry with both Kat and Alice for continuing to use time travel. Del battles to keep the Landry farm intact. While Alice and Kat are constantly switching between the present and the past, Del is addressing her personal issues. The family farm could be taken away from her, but instead of confiding in Kat or Alice about what's happening, she turns to Elliot. She begs him to assist her in creating a business plan so that she can use her excess land for a community garden. Regretfully, the local council rejects her idea even with Elliot's assistance. Additionally, Elliot currently maintains a strong bond with Del, the only member of the Landry family. He and Alice's relationship is still strained. He and Kat did share a kiss, but they aren't quite prepared to resume their romance just yet. That Kat can still travel through time infuriates Elliot. Kat is furious when she finds out that Elliot never informed her about Alice's previous journeys into the past. There's a blowout argument. Elliot is informed by Kat, but she believes she has a chance to bring Jacob home. He does not, however, believe that the past can be altered. He asks, "When has that ever worked? Observe how it affected you. I can see what it did to me." Kat isn't drawn to Elliot's self-pitying musings. She responds, "You just wanted me to love you. You asked for my whole attention, and you left when I was unable to accomplish that." Elliot claims she is completely mistaken. He claims, "I departed because I was unable to cope with Colton's passing and your part in it." Kat felt the full impact of Elliot's comments. She feels guilty already, believing that she and Alice were to blame for Colton's tragic accident. It must ache to hear Elliot suggest that she is to blame. Even if Elliot's rage makes sense, it's hardly justified. It appears impossible to change the past, as he has acknowledged. Since time is a loop, Kat would always be able to travel back in time to attend her father's funeral. Kat, nevertheless, is still holding out hope that she can make a difference. "Observe as I address it," she instructs Elliot. The episode concludes with Kat seeing a laughing kid as she emerges from the water in 1814. Is that Jacob? In Season 2 of The Way Home, Alice is seen reading a copy of Through the Looking Glass. Other things to remember from this The Way Home episode. Rather than spend the summer in Minneapolis with her dad, Alice makes a decision to remain in Port Haven. An early history of Port Haven was penned by one of Elliot's ancestors. Could it contain Jacob-related hints? What was going on in the Goodwin mansion while Elliot and Kat were little? Clearly, the location holds significant, and apparently negative, memories for both of them. Dell imagines talking to Colton on multiple occasions. He tells her to tell Kat everything, no more secrets in one. Is she concealing anything else from her daughter, or is he merely discussing the farm? When Kat mentions that she intends to write a book about the history of the Landry family, she appears somewhat anxious. Dell presents Through the Looking Glass to Alice. Is this one more indication that she is aware of the pond? The Way Home, a Hallmark Channel series, returns for its second season with new mysteries and new difficulties for Kat, Alice, and Dell. The pond's allure is too strong for the Landry women to resist. In the second episode of The Way Home, Kat rejects the idea of time travel and instead focuses on using her journalism background to learn more about her brother Jacob's disappearance. But as events draw her back to the waterfront, she makes a decision that will probably have an impact all season long. In the second episode of The Way Home, Kat swears off time travel. Similar to the first episode of The Way Home, the space between begins with a fascinatingly mysterious situation. A small youngster, running up to the pond's edge, is barefoot. An older woman's hand is taken by him. "Recall what I mentioned. You'll always get where you need to go with it," she assures him. "But you must remain here for the time being." This boy, who is he? Is it possible that an older, forgotten version of Jacob exists somewhere? Or is there another person that is connected to the pond? We'll have to wait until the season finale to find out more, if the opening scene from the previous season featuring the White Witch, who was later revealed to be Kat, is any indication. Resuming in the present, we begin up just after the conclusion of the first season's finale, when Kat informs Dell that she is aware of Jacob's fate. In summary, Kat believes Finn, the family dog, has the ability to travel through time. She believes that on the night that Finn vanished, Jacob followed him into the pond and was unable to return. Dell, though, is unwilling to hear Kat's theory. She's prepared to move on from the traumatic past and move on. Kat runs to the pond rather than telling Dell what she's talking about. Will we ever learn whether Dell is aware of the special qualities of the pond? The portal doesn't take her anywhere when she leaps into the sea. It seems that her place is in the present, at least for the time being. Alice goes into the sea after her mother. However, winter has arrived and the pond is almost completely frozen. For a little while, Alice is stuck beneath the ice, but Kat rescues her. She declares that time travel and the pond are off limits after being disturbed by the incident. Cat declares, "The pond is done with us. We live here, so we have to be done with it. Right now." Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.